And we don't need no theme song. Hey, you. Hey, you. Welcome to the Grown-Ups Table. I'm your host, Jesse Pimpinella. And as always, my partner in crime,
John Jacobs.
Thank you so much. And a happy Tuesday to you all. We're so happy to be back. Today, we're going to be talking about some amazing things. We're going to be talking about the Comic-Con 2024, all the crazy announcements that they announced. I know there's been plenty. You've been seeing it trending all over everywhere, X, Facebook. But we're going to break down the biggest ones for you. So stay tuned. Talk with us. We're going to talk about predictions, things that are going to happen because of these announcements, and more. But before we do that, you got to make sure you like and subscribe and keep watching us, man. The best part about the Grown-Ups Table is you sit at the table with us and you can comment live with us and we can comment back with you, man. So do that. Check it out. It's going to be a good time. But this week has been an incredible time for comic books. I mean, outside the fact that I'm not going to spoil anything right now. I just want to throw it out there. Deadpool Wolverine came out this week, which has been spectacular. You got a lot of crazy things at Comic-Con besides comic book related things. You got new Doctor Who spinoff, all kinds of crazy stuff. But the biggest thing, the thing that really rattled the scales, in my opinion, for this Comic-Con, I believe it was the Avengers thing. All right. So right now I'm going to pull this up and I'm going to pull this out. Okay. And then
you got one? Nice.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I got. Do you know what the worst part about this thing is?
It's so big, dude. Your dick is so small. Like
I know, but here's the best part. No. Here's the best part. I thought the face was what was going to be the most inappropriate thing about this thing. It's not. Do you know what the most inappropriate thing about this thing is?
Is there a uvula in the back?
There's a tongue, and it's textured.
Oh, dude,
it's rubber. It's rubber. So, like, when you put your hand in there, right, and the back of your wrist right here touches it. It feels weird, man.
It's just like, so it can rub your wiener and you can get off when you're thrusting back and forth.
And then the best part is I love this. So it says, obviously designed by Deadpool.
Nice.
Says,
I like that. That's a cool touch. I didn't
right
see
here
that on the prototypes. Nice.
Also can be used for popcorn.
Only to be used with popcorn.
Yes. So I'm gonna go put this in the background because people are just gonna see it in the background going, what the fuck is on his couch? Yeah, it's this. I bought it. Yes. Here we go. There we go. All right, there it is. It happened. All right. Anyways, and plus I got my Deadpool stepbrother shirt.
I feel so underdressed. I'm still wearing my work shirt.
It's okay, man. It's all right, man. We're having a good time here. So let's talk about this. So, wow. 2 back-to-back huge announcements for Marvel right here. I mean, you got Robert Downey Jr. back into the fold. But before even that, we were surprised with the Russo brothers. We thought that was the presentation. You know? I mean, what were your thoughts on the Russo brothers' return to the Avengers? Do you think it'll be something positive? Do you think it's a response to kind of the slope that we've been seeing in the Marvel Universe? What were your reactions? And people comment. Tell me what your reactions were, too.
All right. So I'm going to start off by saying I really don't care. Now, with that said, I do care.
That's a fair assessment. Why don't you care?
So I do care, but I don't care. So here's why I don't care. I really am getting burnt out on Marvel and Star Wars now, especially after Acolyte, which we do have a plan for a future show. But I don't want to be toxic or negative about it.
No.
But I'm really feeling beat down on both of them, honestly. Now, I think it is a great announcement for the Russo brothers to come back. I am totally okay with that. Just looking here because I'm having brain lapse today. Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame. Okay, those are 4 solid Marvel films. They're some of the ones that I liked the best. So let's bring them back. I'm okay with that. But I also don't care. You know,
do you feel you don't care because we need to see results before we see?
I think we're done. I honestly think we're done. I think we've been done for a while, and we've just needed a realization for people in decision-making positions to understand that. Now, I am super happy that we're getting Fantastic Four. Okay. And I know we're going to do the RDJ thing here in a minute. So I don't want to launch into that right now. It's obviously a part of Fantastic Four. So here's the thing. Here's why I don't care about Marvel and Star Wars, but I do care about Marvel and Star Wars. So you have to understand the sense of humor I am coming with this. I am serious. Like, I'm kind of done, but I'm not serious because I've invested my whole life into Star Wars. I'm not walking away from it, but I might be in the stage of I don't care right now. Marvel, we've been doing this for almost 20 years, right? We've just got a few left to hit that 20-year mark, so we're getting close. That's a huge investment of time. I feel like Marvel and Star Wars are doing things just because they can do them. And I feel like they are taking more liberty to do things just to do them instead of focusing on something that is actually meaningful. It has quality, and people feel like their time is valued.
No.
I'm not saying that future Russo brother films such as Avengers 5 and 6 aren't going to value our time. I'm also not saying Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom in Fantastic Four isn't going to be a value of our time. I hope they do value our time. But I do feel like overall with Marvel and Star Wars, that's a big issue. I feel like they're just doing this, that they threw a dart at a dartboard and it stuck and they were like, I like that. We're going to do that. Or they have like expanded universe stuff and they just throw and they're like, hey, those 3 darts landed on some cool stuff. Let's do that. Even though we said none of this exists, we'll just cherry pick from it, make it our own, but in the process, fuck up already like decades established canon because we can. And I feel like that's what's happening. So
I would pump the brakes on one thing. I wouldn't compare Star Wars to Marvel on one aspect. I think while maybe everything isn't perfect with Marvel, there is at least organization to what they're doing. At least
I will concede that Marvel seems to have more organization than Star Wars.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm agreeing with you on the quality.
Yeah. I'll agree with you on that.
Because like if you look at Star Wars, you're like what you just said, the whole dark shit. Totally believe that. I was like,
I just feel like that's what they're doing to write it now.
And like, I'm trying to like Acolyte. I'm trying to like it for okay. The choreography looks good there.
I defended the first 2 episodes, and then it just nosedived.
I think there's a lot of interesting things about it, and then I think the writing isn't where it is. But I think there is no purpose for the Acolyte, the show itself. Like nothing like. I feel like you're right. It's just darts. It's at random. With Marvel, I feel like they for some reason they're like, we have all these toys, and they're kind of like that kid who wants to play with all the toys as fast as you can, and then they leave them all over the ground, and then it's just a mess. Like, wait, now I got to pick up this, I got to pick up that, because you saw that now we don't got the Eternals 2 is on ice forever. They're going to use
I think they pretty much pulled the plug on Eternals.
Then they're going to use the Celestials to explain Adamantium, which is coming from the dead thing in the sea. So I mean, like at least Marvel is aware. For me, at least Marvel, I think is aware there's a problem. But Star Wars, I don't even think they know it. At least I haven't seen a single sign with Star Wars that they were like they took a step back and go, wait a second, guys. I think we're going a little too crazy here. That's just me.
So
but also, real quick, hats off to you. Al loves the dart analogy. Couldn't agree more.
Thanks, Al. So I'll say this last thing, and then we'll ditch Star Wars, go back to just Marvel, because again, guys, we are going to do an Acolyte episode coming up in a few weeks, so I don't want to dwell on it too much. But you know, I believe that, and when I say Star Wars, I'm meaning production, people in charge, making decisions,
the property, right? The IP.
Yeah. So I believe Star Wars is aware of its state of business. I think that they just don't care because, and normally I'm okay with that.
That's true. I can agree with that.
Because I want to encourage artists like freedom, but when you are doing this with IPs that have been around longer than some people involved have been alive,
yes,
there are standards and ways that you kind of need to go about doing things, because it's kind of like that whole debate we had with Evil Dead, where Joel really loved it, I didn't, and the talking point that we were conflicted on was that it didn't feel like Evil Dead to me. His position was it should be able to evolve. My position was I don't disagree, it should be able to evolve, but to call an Evil Dead film, there are certain boxes that need to be checked off, because we've established what an Evil Dead film is.
Mhm.
So extrapolate that to Star Wars. We're not getting that. And I believe it's because people are just simply doing what they want because they can. I think they're fully aware. I think they don't care. I think Marvel's fully aware, but they, like we established, kind of care. They kind of don't care, but they kind of care. Bringing the Russo brothers back, they care. Bringing Robert Downey Jr. back as a variant Doctor Doom in the multiverse, I don't think they care when they did that. I think they said, hey, we realize we realized a certain percentage of our target audience may have abandoned us. What better way to bring them back than to bring back the guy they loved that nobody wanted to die? I'm sorry, many people didn't want to die in Endgame, and it should have been Cap. I'll say it again. Cap should have died, not Iron Man.
It was filmed. It was filmed.
It's the way it was going.
It was filmed.
Any time Cap was on screen, he was waiting to die for America in the Avengers, and then he didn't do that at the end. He went and got his dick wet. Okay, whatever. So, I feel like they're aware. I feel like they know. I feel like Marvel is willing to make some course corrections, whereas I think Star Wars has decided that they're just going to continue to do what they want. And what will happen is we'll get some good and we'll get some bad. But with Marvel, I feel like it's just that mediocrity. And, I actually recently watched Quantum Mania again, because I was like, the first time I watched it, I liked it. And then I started talking to people and listening to what they had to say. And then I was like, you're right. I still like the film, but you're right. Now watching it a second time, they're totally right. And I still like the film. I can't explain why. Like, I did generally enjoy it, but I don't have a problem with abandoning the Kang storyline. I don't think it was even going anywhere with Quantumania. I understand they didn't.
I wouldn't even say they abandoned it. They put they actually, in my opinion, if you watch Loki season 2, they put a bow on it. Really.
Well, they did, but now I feel like it's abandoned, because we're now moving completely away from Kang the Conqueror.
Because they're like saying like, oh, we're going to keep an eye on it, and if
they're not.
Happens,
it's done.
Oh no. That's what I mean by a bow. Like, it's not what I mean by like, when I think abandoned plot lines, like there's no explanation. At least here they're like, oh, we're just observing. If anything comes up, we'll let you know.
Okay, so, semantics.
Bottom line is semantics, but at least they wrote it.
Kang is gone. He's not coming back. No, they abandoned that storyline. Which, look, I mean, the character is cool. Would I have liked to have seen it? Sure. Jonathan Majors, made some decisions. Some decisions were made.
I think the biggest problem with Quantumania, and this is what I'm going to say, is Ant-Man needed to lose or die.
Well,
because here's the thing: if he could beat the worst version of Kang, then what comes next? That was my problem. But I don't want Ant-Man to die. I'm not saying that because I want him to die, but I'm saying, if you're telling me this is one of the worst versions of Kang, and then you take him out by yourself.
But here's the thing too with Kang, is that he shouldn't have been in that film. And what I mean by that is, which pre-Infinity War film was Thanos the big bad in?
None.
Exactly. And when I watched, he was not the big bad in any.
You could argue it.
No,
you could argue
not.
It for Guardians.
He might have been consulted in a scene, but he was
you
not.
Could argue that he was consulted by Loki in the.
That's fine, but he wasn't the big bad. Okay?
He wasn't the big bad. You're right.
I think So
He was.
after
You know what
watching,
Loki was? Loki was that little slug that tries to kill Padme
yeah,
in
yeah, good analogy, man.
in the
Al, what do you
Clone
think
War
about that
movie,
one?
and Palpatine was Thor. Like there was like it was the bounty hunter hiring this bounty hunter, hiring this droid,
Yeah.
hiring these slugs to kill Padme. Yeah.
Yeah. So, after watching it a second time, I realized that
Yep,
it,
they did axe
I,
him. Yep.
my,
Mhm.
my issue with Quantum Mania is Kang being in it and being the big bad. It's
I agree
not
with that.
all the other shit everybody bitched about. Now, I agree by making this a family movie with getting fucking Michelle Pfeiffer and all them. Like, I I get that they set these things up, but when I'm gearing up for a 2-hour movie that's gonna bridge some shit, I don't want 2 hours of like family reunited and then like 30 minutes of Kang the Destroyer. It just seems very like you couldn't figure out what you really wanted to like what you wanted people to walk away with at the end of this film. I know they wanted people to walk away with Kang the Destroyer is here. He's the new Thanos. He's gonna tear shit up. But like, I don't think a single person walked away with that. So
No, no one did.
that's
Good.
that's
Ant-Man
my
handled him. Why do we need the Avengers to fight him?
exactly. So that's my issue is that I feel like we got really lazy after Endgame
Yeah.
with a few exceptions, okay? But for the most part, we got lazy with our writing. We, overworked our VFX people and, we put out some content that we weren't used to getting that type of negative feedback about. Can they bounce back? Sure. I hope they do. But I'm really concerned as to why we're pulling Robert Downey Jr. into a variant multiverse Doctor Doom instead of just hiring a fucking actor to play him.
I
Like
don't know why.
I don't know why we need to do this.
I would like to see Cillian Murphy as Doctor Doom. He was
It
my
would have
first
been
choice.
great.
Yeah. Now here's my quick question, and I have to ask this.
Dude, fucking Julian McMahon could still do it. He looks halfway decent. Just get him to do it again. Like, what the hell,
And
man?
you know what?
Look, he did great. He had shitty writing, but he acted it fine. I liked him as Doom. His Doom just sucked because it was shit written.
Let me ask you this question: have you seen? And this will go in my thing, and if you say no, then I won't talk about it. Have you seen Deadpool Wolverine?
No, it just came out. Hopefully, I'm seeing it tomorrow with my brother. I don't know. We'll see.
I will say, in my opinion,
don't you dare ruin this movie for me.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna say, they did a lot to put Marvel back on track, and it's up to every movie.
I mean, that's
Marvel.
my expectation of the film is what they
keep a low expectation. I'm gonna tell you, I want you to go in for me. I will talk about the movie. For me, I fucking loved it. But I want you to go.
I have a feeling there's no reason why I wouldn't love this movie.
I fucking loved it. I loved it. I laughed my fucking balls off the whole movie.
I just watched 1 and 2 this past weekend, and I was gearing up. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm all excited now. Hoping I get to go see it tomorrow.
But here's the thing, and I don't want to say this because I don't want to reveal anything to you, but I will say, if they play this right, Robert Downey Jr. could be an excellent Doom, and it could fit. This could fit because there is a storyline where Tony Stark becomes Doom. So this could be a bait and switch for all we know. This could be a Trojan horse to bring this could be a Trojan horse to actually, while they're bringing Doom to the screen, they also can bring Iron Man back to life. This could be a Trojan horse for all we know.
Look. I'm just gonna say this, okay?
Say it.
Like, stick to the fucking main stories, okay? Don't take one book that was an offshoot or a what if or hey, this is one story in a universe we're never gonna explore it again, but hey, we know you're gonna love it. Man, stop taking this shit and making it mainstream. Like, just stick to the main fucking story.
But there are sometimes where that doing that works though.
Look, I'm not saying it doesn't work sometimes.
Did you like No Way Home?
But I really don't care. And look, we should have had Darth on the show because Darth is Mr. Fantastic Four. He in and out, like he knows it all. I was not aware of this Tony Stark being Doom type thing until you just brought it up. So do I think that's cool? Absolutely. Am I interested in reading the book where that happened? You bet. Do I want to see that as main fucking canon in the MCU? No, I don't. Get your fucking Doom actor to play Doom and let's go. Let's have a couple Avenger movies hunting his ass down. Have him in Fantastic Four. But we don't need to like bring back Robert Downey Jr. because you killed him off and you realize you'll make more money if you bring him back because everybody likes him. Like, come on, guys. Let's be a little better with our decisions.
But I don't mind seeing him act again in a different role.
I mean, I don't mind it, but I just feel like circular. This is just doing things to do them. Hey, we couldn't agree on a Doom. Let's just get Robert Downey Jr. back and make it a variant. That sounds great. Like, guys, come on.
But for me, I'm thinking like if Chris Evans could play over 7 different comic book characters, eventually it's got. I mean, there's so many actors in Hollywood. Eventually, they're going to cannibalize.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
I just think it's inevitable. That's all I'm trying to say.
But Chris Evans played the Human Torch in 2 Fantastic Four films that were not a part of the MCU whatsoever.
I know that.
So it's a little. So it's more reasonable to be able to spread the two and look at them as 2 separate things. But Robert Downey Jr., who played Iron Man, and let's be honest, it most certainly is mostly responsible for the success of the MCU. Like one of the biggest characters.
That's a good point.
It's technically the second film, but the first real big film that kicked everything off. You know, he's the guy. He's as much of the MCU as Chris Evans is. Okay, so he had his whole thing as Iron Man, 23 fucking movies, whatever, blah, 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 and we kill him off. Now you're going to bring him back as a Doom variant? Like, guys, come on. Like, that's what I'm talking about. I don't think Marvel is in a situation where they need to be doing that. I would expect dumb shit like that from Star Wars at this point.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think, I didn't think Marvel was there. And I just, like, no, I'm just scratching my fucking head. Like, what are we doing? I don't know. I feel like I'm repeating myself. You talk for a minute.
I know. I understand the concern of bringing it back because I mean, yeah, he was the face of Marvel essentially. Let's just call it for what it was. He was the face of Marvel for many years, and him dying off it sucked. And now having him back as a different character, people say that as kind of it feels weird. It feels kind of weird, and I get that.
It feels weird for sure.
It does feel weird. I guess I'm letting it go because at the end of the day, I guess I've always watched anthology shows. So I'm used to the idea of, okay, this actor is this character this year. The next year there'll be this character, but all the anthology shows are together, so it's all one giant universe. So maybe I'm more used to it because when American Horror Story was good, when it was good, that was kind of the way their universe worked. So for me, I'm kind of like, okay, they're just pulling another guy from their theater troupe to come back and play another role. So for me,
doesn't that bother you? And it's okay if it doesn't.
No,
maybe I'm just being too whiny. Maybe I'm so backstage.
Maybe I'm so backstage that maybe I'm so in front of the camera or behind the camera that it doesn't bother me. But look, I don't disagree that it bothers people. I'm just giving an alternative way to look at it.
Yeah,
I do feel like it bothers people. I could totally understand that. Totally understand.
Here's the thing, too. So many people, myself included, were really looking forward to Fantastic Four. And again, I am not, I don't know all the info, right? I like Fantastic Four. I really do. I liked the 2 Fox movies, but I knew that they were like way off, and I was okay with that. But I generally do like and enjoy Fantastic Four content. So I'm still going to see the movie. I'm still excited to see the movie, but there's this part of me that's just like, God damn it. Like, was really pumped for this. And I was like tracking like who they're talking about and who we're going to get and who we're thinking about Doom. And I'm putting my list together. And then it's fucking Iron Man. And I'm just like, really? Like,
Yeah.
we're
No,
already there? Like,
and look, I get it.
I don't know, man. I don't want to sound toxic or too negative, because like I said, I'm still going to show up for the films. I'm still going to watch them. I'm still going to pay money for them, just like I do with Star Wars. But
At the end of the
I'm
day,
going to be honest about how I feel about it, you know?
no, that's fine. I think at the end of the day, if they honor the characters and they make the movie,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
like to ignore the fact that
Yeah.
okay, this is not the actor; he's playing a character. If I can immerse myself into the movie, I feel like if I can immerse myself into the movie without feeling detracted,
Sure.
then I feel like he'll succeed. If
Sure.
they do stuff where they wink too much to the fact he was Iron Man, I think that will hurt the movie.
Well, I don't think that that's even going to happen. I think it's
let-
going to be multiverse Tony Stark somehow crossing
we,
over.
and we don't know. We do not know. The thing I brought up that might not even.
Well, hold on. Before you, I will tell you what will check me out of Marvel. You ready? I'm gonna put this on the record. This is what will check me out of Marvel. If they do some fucking bullshit and they go in the past of the main timeline and they pluck Tony Stark out from some moment and then they put him over here where Fantastic Four shit's happening and then he becomes Doom, I'm gonna be so fucking mad. Like, do not do that dumb shit. Like,
I don't want them to do that either.
Have it be a guy from that universe, and he's Doom, and he just happens to look like the Tony Stark from this universe. Like, just do that. Please do not pull Tony Stark from the MCU already existing universe and put him in the Fantastic Four one and be like, it's the same guy that was Iron Man, now Dr. Doom. Don't do that shit, or it will get ruined. I'm telling you right now.
No, I agree. I think that's where they're going to go. I have my prediction for what might happen. I think, but we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what happens, but let's move on to our next topic because we have a ton of topics to go on. We only hit this one. This one was crazy.
Lightning round. Let's do it.
All right, let's do lightning round. All right, real quick. So, Boys spinoff, Soldier Boy. It's going to be called Bot Rising. Stormfront's going to appear. Takes place in the 1950s. Said to be a murder mystery. What are your thoughts?
I'm super excited. I love the Soldier Boy character. I was really glad when Stormfront decided to bite her own tongue off and just take her own life because she was one of the worst people ever.
Yep.
So I'm excited to see her back in her most racist and
most comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we're at the time where I was pro-genocide. I'm racist as fuck. Like, let's do it. You know, I want to see that shit. I want to see,
I'm worried that they're going to accidentally confirm a theory, and it's scaring me.
Well, what's the theory?
There has been a theory floating around that Stormfront is in fact the mother of Homelander. That's what the theory is. That's what the theory is, and those types of themes are explored in the comic books. What I'm talking about, that's explored in the comic books.
Yeah, but wasn't that
storyline? I think something is crazy would be that.
Wasn't there something though that they did account for, like? For lack of a better term, an alibi for her around that time, that she was doing something or something. I can't.
Yeah, she was something Liberty or something. She was a different hero at the time.
But there were people that she was with during that time, or something, to where I don't know.
Pull that off. What I'm saying is it would surprise me if they went down that road because that's a really fucking crazy one.
I don't want that. That's what that is that's making Robert Downey Jr. Dr. Doom. That's what that is. It's doing shit just to do it. Like, don't do that. Be smarter and write something better. Don't grab the low-hanging fruit.
I know, but they've been hinting at it. They've been hinting.
I mean, whatever.
I'm just pointing it out. It's been talked about. And what scares me, it comes from like these Reddit people who are really good at finding clues. Like, for example, you've seen the current season, right?
So I've been really distracted, especially with getting a new job.
Yeah.
I've got the last 2 episodes to finish.
Oh, so you've seen the Firecracker's ability, right?
She just
her other ability.
What? Were she strong?
where she
Oh, where she shot him in the face with
Yeah.
her with her
yeah,
milk.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in the episode where Ezekiel dies,
Yeah.
there's a scene where a pill bottle is thrown, and apparently some Redditors were like, "What's that pill bottle? Oh, okay, here's what the medicine is. What's the side effects? Oh, it's breastfeeding. Oh, somehow this is going to happen." And they called that shit. It is,
Yeah, I mean,
so
that's one. Sure. That's
I'm
one
just
thing.
saying,
But
they could.
yeah, but I mean, taking Stormfront and making it into Homelander's mom, that's more of a Herculean effort than it is to say, hey, let's throw an Easter egg in post of the pills so that we can be like, that's two different things. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I do. I get what you're saying.
I mean, the point is that someone caught it, even if it was an Easter egg put into post.
Yeah.
Actually, caught it is pretty impressive.
I actually recently just did a watch through with the boys because I got tired of waiting a week in between the episodes. So I was like, well, let me just watch the series again because they're like eight episodes, hour or less each. So it's a quick run through. Man, it was great watching it a second time through and all at once. Just so much more total story that makes sense and connects shit. So I actually really ended up liking Soldier Boy a lot more this second watch.
Oh yeah.
Than I did the first. I was just like, damn, I really like this character. So I was really excited when they announced the spinoff. I'm like, I get that it's 50s Soldier Boy and not, modern time Soldier Boy, but still, I'll take it, man, because he was just as much of a fucking psychopath in the 50s as he was in current times, as he was in the 80s. Like,
I still love the
dude's
one
insane.
joke. I love the one joke. Let me tell you something. The cons can make one hell of a drink.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see those characters that we've only heard about it or briefly referenced. Like they're actually going to be main, secondary, and tertiary characters. So I'm like really jazzed for all that. Plus, it's more boys content. I think their spinoff content is good. They're only doing one more season of the main story. Good decision. Just like Stranger Things, end that shit before it wears out. Now, obviously, Stranger Things has fucked up royally because they keep going like 3 years in between each season, which is dumb. But anyways, back to
we'll see how that flies.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for it. I will get the fourth season and finish up in the next couple of days. I'm excited for it to round off in the fifth season, see how they tie up all the loose ends and all the characters and whatnot. I'm really excited for the Soldier Boy spinoff. I think the spinoffs are good. This was a great announcement for me. Super excited.
No, super excited. Speaking of another comic book spinoff,
I saw Vance just joined. He missed my whole half-hour MCU Star Wars rant. Vance, you missed it, buddy.
Let's talk about the Penguin, the new Batman spinoff. It's said to be taking 1 week after the movie. It's going to be showing Oz's rise to power because now there's this power vacuum. Carmine's taken out, and someone needs to take over. And they're also introducing Sophia Falcone, who is kind of the crazy mafiosa princess daughter. And it seems like it's going to be pitting these two together. I'm excited for this. I like it because when you see the trailer, it's going out of its way to not be a superhero show. And I love when shows, they're like, no, let's just do this. Let's not ride on the coattails of it being a superhero show. Have you seen any things about this?
Yeah, I'm really excited for this as well. I really like the new Batman series. I'm excited to get more content for it. I think Colin Farrell as the Penguin was fucking amazing. The makeup is absolutely amazing. Say what you want about him. The motherfucker can act.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really excited for this. I really like this whole universe that they're setting up. I'm glad that there's more content. We're getting another new film. What is it, next year or is it year after? I forget.
2025 is when I heard.
So next year, yep. So we're getting our follow-up film. I'm really excited for that. Again, this is just the universe that I know it's in the beginning. And I understand the concerns and the feedback about the first film, about Riddler. I get it. But guys, I really think that they're going to do this to where, so in most superhero content, the bad guy is different because you have Lex Luthor and you have Catwoman, and you have Sinestro. I'm going extreme here, but
Oh,
you
yeah.
have all the villains are different, right? But they're all the fucking same. It's all formulaic. It all happens the same fucking way. It goes the same way. The villains are all the same. They look different. They talk different. They sound different, but they're all the same. It doesn't matter what you watch. It's all the same. I feel like in this new Batman universe that we are being set up to have truly different feeling villains that are stylized, they're acted, they're shot, and they're written differently from each other. And I think that's going to allow a lot of uniqueness and a lot of ways to really build up the universe and the relationship with the characters. I'm really excited about it. I can't wait to see more content because I hope it keeps going in this direction that they've established, because we are in a sea of saturation of superheroes now, more than we've ever had in the history of people. You have to differentiate what you're doing from everybody else. This is how this Batman series is differentiating itself. And if they continue the trend that they established in the first film, they're really going to be onto something. They really are.
And what's very interesting is even how much it broke the trend with Batman. Up until this point, and I've said this on the show before, everybody has used the Frank Miller version of Batman. So, in my opinion, with Batman, and I know
not every version, but most of the main versions.
Most of the main versions, if not, are 90% Frank Miller's Batman. If not, or
90%, I'll give you that.
I won't say full, because you could definitely see some Jeff Loeb and Christian Bale's Batman. You could definitely, but for the most part, the action hero, fight scenes or action scenes that are very plentiful in the movie, that's Frank Miller's Batman. Jeff Loeb's Batman's very detective. Like, if you read a lot of those comic books,
I'll give you that. Yeah,
it's really story based and character based. Like, there's when they do the Long Halloween, there's a whole chapter where during Thanksgiving he brings a plate of food from Wayne Manor to Killer Croc's lair and puts it down for him to eat. Like,
he loves Killer Croc deep down. Okay,
he loves Killer Croc.
He does.
Yeah, but it's like there's this sort of like a very detective, very moody. Which I know some people are like, "Oh, this Batman's too moody." It's like, read the Long Halloween.
No, I think it's okay. It works for the universe. It works for the universe. Different, and it contrasts against all the other characters.
Exactly. What I'm trying to say is, what you're saying. It breaks the norm. We've been seeing this certain Batman for over 30 years.
Yes.
And now this one was like, okay, we are going to focus on the detective aspect. We're going to make this a detective story that is a comic book movie. And that's what I think it blew my mind. I was like, some people weren't ready for that, but I was glad they went that way.
They should have made Affleck the detective Batman. How dope would that have been?
They were, I think his movie was going to do that.
Because the Alfred that they established with Affleck, with Jeremy Irons, dude, that Alfred was already set up to be Watson. Like, they had it, dude. They already had him set up. Missed opportunity for Affleck to do detective work. They could have had such a good setup with that.
Well, if you see what his script was, and basically it's been floating around what it was about and stuff like that, it kind of felt like this really gothic horror movie where Deathstroke is trying to ruin his fucking life. And,
dude.
And I think they could have had that opportunity, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Woulda, shoulda,
coulda. But let's talk about another superhero movie that's been coming our way. Captain America 4: Brave New World. Now, this trailer was packed to the gills with plenty of things. You had Ross as the president, a.k.a. the Red Hulk, as well. Then you got Gus from Breaking Bad, which I'm calling him Breaking Cap. He's Sidewinder in this thing, and that's going to be pretty cool. I love him as an actor. I think he's just so, like, it's great when he plays a good guy, but the guy knows how to play a villain. He just knows how to do it. Giancarlo Esposito is just amazing at that. And also they're bringing back Leader as well from the Incredible Hulk movie. Because if you watch the trailer and you listen to the dialogue, and you put the subtitles on, it says Stern is talking, and I'm like, Stern, the leader. So this could be a very interesting movie. And like I said, I know that this movie has suffered a lot of reshoots. I haven't probably even heard about those. But at the end of the day, what are your thoughts on it? Are you excited to see this movie? Are you cautious? Basically, this is going to be the first movie to come after Deadpool Wolverine. And I will say, this movie has a huge shoes to fill. All right? Everybody, I think, for me, Deadpool Wolverine did so good that I think it made Captain America 4's stakes get higher. That's how I feel.
Well, you know, I don't know if it's going to be equal to or better than Deadpool Wolverine.
Well, I'm
but
not saying equal better to, but I mean,
don't know. But
I'm
excited to see Sam step up and be Cap. I'm excited for fucking Red Hulk, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Like I am legit excited to see Sam stepping up and being Cap. I am legitimately looking forward to that. But
Dylan, sorry to say it, Dylan. This dude's
this is about Red Hulk, dude. So I'm really excited to see it. I want to see him do the nuclear blast. It just needs to happen at some point. I don't care how, just do it. But yeah, I mean, it like I think that this film, I'm gonna be careful on how I choose my words. I feel that this film has the potential to bring back some that was lost. I think it has the potential to bring some people back like, okay, looks like they got their shit together now. Let me come back to this. I'm confident that this film can do that. We just need to now wait and see if it will.
Yeah. I think right now, I think we just need a grounded MCU.
It's just something to bring it back together. We just need to bring it back together.
But the thing is, they need to go back to just focusing on the movies and the stories. Like the one movie that did amazing for Phase 5. All right, and I'm not talking about Deadpool Wolverine right now. I'm excluding it right now, just so for the record. So so the next thing I say, people aren't like, hey, I'm like, whoa, I'm excluding it right now because John hasn't seen it yet. Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3 was excellent. It was a self-contained
Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
No. I said I'm excluding Deadpool because you haven't seen it.
I misunderstood what you're.
But Guardians,
we saw it together.
yeah, Guardians Part 3. It did amazing because it was a self-contained story. Did it have little nuggets of universe building? Yes, it had nuggets. It didn't have a plot that was driven to create the stories for later films. It just had nuggets. And that's what made look at Iron Man. What were the nuggets in the original Iron Man movie? They probably mentioned maybe Super Soldier at some point. I know in Iron Man 2 they had the Captain America shield, but we weren't promised a Captain America movie yet.
We knew we were getting that.
We knew, but we weren't promised.
They didn't put that shield in there for nothing.
But you gotta keep in mind, go back to that time frame. That was when movies would mention other comic books and we would never get anything. Keep in mind, remember fucking George Clooney Batman was like, that's why Superman works alone. You know what I mean? Like, that means we were going to get the Superman movie. You know what I mean? Like, every movie mentioned characters, but they never.
I still like how that fourth Batman movie combined Nightwing and Robin into one character and still managed to get it wrong.
Very much. But my point is, it's just like, all these, we didn't know it was going to build to an Avengers movie. And then remember when the Avengers movie came out? None of us knew if there was going to be any more movies after that. Because up to that point, movies were like, at best, you get 3 movies, and then the trilogy's over. And then at this point, we were like, okay, we're going to get our Avengers movie, and it's done. And then they're like, whoa. We got more for you. You're like, what? We got more? Like, it was the first time we were getting a universe building. You know what I mean? So, bottom line, what I'm trying to say is, nuggets are good. Nuggets, just let it grow. Let it, like, they're all the movies. Yeah, they dealt with the Infinity Stones. There's movies that dealt with the Infinity Stone, but they didn't deal with the Infinity Stone to the point where they're like, oh my God, Thanos is after this. You know what I mean? Like, that wasn't like that. They were like,
really passionate in that example.
Yeah, but that's how every multiverse movie has been. They're like, oh my God, the multiverse. We're going to get crushed. We're going to get killed because of the multiverse. Every movie with the Stones was like, okay, this Stone's and Jane Foster. We should get it out of her so it doesn't kill her. Great. Okay,
To get
good.
it out of her.
Yeah, let's just get it out of her so she doesn't die. That's a great idea. Oh, Loki has the mind thing. You control your mind. Oh, that makes him a dangerous villain. Avengers. You know, like it. You know what I mean? Like we weren't holding the Mind Stone, going, and Thanos will be here soon. You know,
Yeah,
what I mean? I just feel like every movie right now has been just this like show and tell to the audience. Like, see, and it's like,
yeah,
okay, calm down.
yeah. We see it. We can
Just
see it.
make really good self-contained stories with nuggets of
Yeah,
information that
yeah.
that other movies in the future can talk about, and then boom. Because like, look at how like in Avengers Endgame, they're like, we all had moments where we all came into contact with the Stones, and it wasn't this forced moment. It was like, yeah, they did. Boom, nice flow of a good story.
We need to find those Infinity Stones, man. I want some powers.
Yeah, that's it. But that's how I feel about that. We got to do a quick lightning round because we got to wrap up here. But we got one last one. James Gunn's Creature Commando. It's technically going to be the first property released for the new DC universe. For those that aren't familiar with it, it's Task Force M. Why is it Task Force M? It stands for monsters. Why? Because the government said you can't use prisoners to go on suicide missions. Therefore, these aren't humans. They are monsters. You got GI Robot, Weasel, who returns from Suicide Squad, Frankenstein.
Oh, dude, Weasel's in it? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm now actually interested. I didn't care about this until you just said Weasel's in it. Now I'm all about it.
You got Dr. Phosphorus, the Bride of Frankenstein, and Amanda Waller. So you got a lot of
Oh, dude, Amanda Waller, nice.
Oh, she's the one that's in charge of this.
Oh, I thought she was going to be up to like somehow get dethroned and then be a part of the team.
No. She's this movie, because right now what James Gunn has said that like all the stuff that's happened in his past movies, not all of it has happened. He's being very cryptic about it. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think what's going to happen is there will be some acknowledgement that a new universe has been born, but some of the stuff that's happened has already happened. Because there's these like, in comic books, there's these pivotal moments that kind of exist no matter what. For example, the Killing Joke, where Barbara gets crippled. That's supposed to be a one-off story that nobody was supposed to make canon. Nobody.
Right.
But
well,
then,
I mean, it was its own thing.
But then everybody made it canon. Everybody made it canon. So I think there's going to be these pivotal moments that happened in the past. We're going to make canon, but we're going to have a new hit past. Because Rick Flag Sr. leads the group. And if we remember, Peacemaker killed Rick Flag Jr., but I heard Rick Flag Sr. and Jr. are going to somehow run into Peacemaker eventually. So there's a story there. So I think there's going to be a lot of good stuff with this. What are your thoughts with this?
I don't know. I don't know anything about this. So I'm just listening to you, and you got me hyped. Because you said Weasel's in it.
Here's the thing.
Sorry to let you guys down. This is the only one I'm like, I got nothing.
My bottom line is let James Gunn cook. I know some people have been like, oh, well, James Gunn. This is going to be his presentation.
Hold up, pause. And I know we're in a couple of weeks, we're going to do a whole Superman episode, and it will probably end up taking up most of the time instead of Superman 3. We'll just have to do a separate Superman 3 episode, but nonetheless. So I'm really excited. We'll talk about it there. But hey, I like what I'm seeing with it so far, so I've got no reason to doubt this. I just know nothing about it, but I'm really excited that the Weasel's in it. So yeah, I'm excited for it now.
Let the man cook, indeed. Well, anyways, that's all the time we got right now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Grown Ups Table. We appreciate you. We'll be back 7 o'clock next week. I want to see you here. I want to see you commenting live, and we're going to be talking about some more fun stuff. Stay tuned. Watch our page. We'll let you know the next thing we'll be discussing here at the Grown Ups Table. And until next time, I'm Jesse.
And I'm John.
And you've been sitting at the Grown Ups Table. Thank you, and have an awesome night, everybody. Take care, everyone. All right. And we